What's up, guys? I'm back with another video for you guys today. So, I think we really need to talk. I think we really need to talk about this, especially now that it's officially 2026. Happy New Year's to everybody. We gonna talk about music real quick. So I don't know if anybody's really. I think 2025 was the learning curve for music as a whole. Like the whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef kind of honestly opened my eyes to a lot of things, actually, especially since I'm an independent artist myself. What's it called? Kendrick talks about like being authentic in his music, right? Like actually representing not only himself, but of course his city. But he refuses to change anything about his character to appease other people, right? And I think that's how it should be, right? You should do music for yourself because you love the art. You love doing what you do. You're not just so desperate to make money and all that, right? Like the question I started asking myself for like probably the last few months of 2025 was, why are rappers not being authentic? You know? Like why aren't they being real in their songs? Like don't get me wrong, there are some people who put out music and they actually do the stuff that they say they do in their music, right? I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's a lot of people. And I think it's really because depending on what topic you're speaking on in the song, people are going to go like, oh yeah, he's probably about that life or whatever. Like I can, like for example, there was a rapper back in the day named Slim Jesus. I think the interview is still out right now. It's still out and about, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But yeah, he even went on the interview and said I don't be doing all this stuff. I just like doing the music. I'm like, so I was like, in my head, I was like, here's the thing, man. You can't be talking about that stuff because not only did your career go downhill after that interview, it's the fact that, okay, one, I respect his honesty. I do. I respect his honesty. At least he was being honest about it. But at the same time, you gotta understand, like, certain genres, there's just stuff you just shouldn't do. Like drill music is really like specifically kind of gang related in a sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people who do drill songs and they're not in gangs, right? I'm not gonna be a stereotype on who does what, right? I just hope 2026 brings back a year where people are being real in their music. Cause I think people have I think people who has done songs has lost sight of like the actual, like, are you being real in the song? Like, are you actually being like real? Are you really trying to send a message? Are you really trying to just connect with people's emotions or all the other stuff, right? Like if you're really trying to do this music thing and you're trying to take it to the next level, just make sure I say just be authentic in it. Or just talk about actual stuff. Talk about real things from your personal experiences. And like a lot of people do music and they're talking about it from what they see, what they know, like what. So really, basically what I'm really trying to say is that if you're gonna put out music and all that stuff, Just be real with yourself. Do the music for you. Don't do it for other people. Do it for you. I do music for me. Not just me, but also I'm trying to give out a message to people that can relate to the songs I put out, in a sense. Okay, some songs I have done for like shits and giggles, right? We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to have a little fun with it, you know? We're allowed to have a little fun with it. There's no problem with that. I just like this whole leave. I've been on leave since December 15th, and today is like my last. January 2nd is my last day of leave, right? So I just been listening, studying everything I can about kind of like the music industry to get a better understanding of like, oh, okay, so the way they're conducting business is to, you know, like just to get a bigger perspective on the business side of like music and stuff, because again, you never know when you come. All it takes is one song to blow up, right? But here's where the problem comes in. A lot of people blow up off one song, and they stop putting out music after that, because they're like, I can just live off this one song. I mean, depending on how well the song does, you could. I mean, you could, but you gotta start asking yourself, like, eventually, songs that trend and all that stuff, they die out eventually. They die out eventually. It happens. It is like, that's just bottom line truth, because there's constantly more and more music getting put out. And I think that's what people don't understand, and that's just the bottom line truth, right? Some people put out songs just for shits and giggles. They do it because it's just something to do. I understand, because I used to be the same way when I first started. I was just doing it just to get through my feelings or whatever, right? Just to get through my feelings, right? Some people do it for as a career, as a possible career thing. They're like, they want to be signed to a label and all that stuff, but they gotta like. A lot of people don't really do research anymore about how this stuff goes. They see a famous person, they see him thriving, doing his thing. You guys gotta everything organizational wise and all that stuff. You gotta understand the business, but first things first, you gotta understand the music. You gotta understand the music. You gotta understand how to produce it, understand how to master it, understand how to write it in a certain way that, oh, one more thing. Also, you got to understand how to record it so that way when you release the song, it could possibly hit a playlist on Spotify or Apple Music. No one knows the outcome. It could take a week, it could take a months, it could take years before it finally, you know. But I don't know if anybody knows, but a lot of upper artists don't really release music anymore. They'll release probably like every, like once a year or every couple of years or so, right? And the authentic side of people putting out music is that they keep saying you got to be consistent. So even if it means you're just releasing singles for a whole year, that's still consistency, right? But here's the thing. Are you actually taking the time to put like the effort into the song, and not just oh, I'll record this and I'm gonna just release it off rip without actually like going back into it, seeing if it actually gonna hit, right? Me, I don't do music just to make hits. If I get a hit, I get a hit. Cool. I'm okay with that. But I do it to give off I ain't even gonna try to I just try to be authentic in my songs. That's the truth. I try to be as authentic as I can in my music, so that way you guys can see the messages I'm trying to portray, and then I'm doing my best to make sure the music videos match what I'm like. I try to make sure the music videos match the song, at least the best I can. But that's also easy said than done, because it also depends on where you live too. Because like, I know there's people that have done music videos and the music video completely does not match the song in the slightest, right? Sure, I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't exactly have to be exactly to the song per se. Be creative with it. You know, be creative with it. There's no problem with that. But music nowadays is just not authentic anymore. You can tell if a song sounds rushed, like someone was rushing through this. You can tell. You can honestly tell if you actually like listen and really pay attention to the song. And I noticed a lot of rappers don't even really release music anymore either. I know Kendrick, Drake, not many rappers have released music in a minute. You know, and you know how I think, go back. Let's talk about it real quick. You know how people say consistency is key, right? There's a lot of truth to that. Okay, you can release songs all year and it might blow up maybe next year or the year after that. You just won't know. I got 2 songs blowing up from 2021. That shocked me. I ain't even gonna lie, that shocked me. I'm gonna be honest. It caught me off guard, but it also flipped a switch in my mind. Like, okay, if I want my songs to be authentic, I just gotta learn. I just gotta be patient with it. That goes with anything. It could like TikTok, YouTube. It's just that people want to set a narrative of who they are without like, but behind the scenes, you're not this person. And I think the problem when it comes to being like a content creator, all that stuff, you're putting on a persona. Even artists do it too. Artists put on this persona like they're this, but when in reality they're really not that. It's just, it takes away from the authenticity, the authentic side of everything you're trying to do. I just feel like people need to be more themselves and be true to who they are rather than trying to be like somebody else. Because here's the thing, some of these people can get away with stuff, doesn't mean you can. So, to me, like, we just need more authentic people, you know? Be true to themselves, right? So, I just hope we get good music this year. I pray on it. I ain't gonna lie. I really do. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and I hope you have a very blessed day. Oh, one more thing. Check out the song Still Breathing Black. It is on all platforms, on Apple Music and Spotify. All you have to do is just look up the Young Oz the King and it'll pop right up. Peace.